Hey, it's Ryan over at 2 Minute Tennis. Thanks so much for checking out this video. This is all about forehand approach shot footwork. So the two footworks that I recommend my students use when hitting an approach shot are what I call the open stance step through and the hop step. So let me show you what they look like first, and then we'll get to why you're going to use it and really kind of the different scenarios. So the open stance step through looks like this. So an open stance, and then you're going to step through. And so this is great when you're running very fast. Let me show you the second one. Second one is a hop step. The hop step is when you're going to get onto the front foot first, and then you hop on it as you go forward. So let's talk about the open stance step through. The open stance step through is best when you're running very fast. If you are a third baseman in baseball, you understand running down a bunt. And that is the same footwork they're going to use when throwing the ball to first base. Or a quarterback in football, when running very fast, they'll actually throw the ball off that right foot if they're right-handed. This is typically a situation where you're running very fast, forward or kind of diagonally to the right. And so when you're going forward, what you want to do if you're running really fast is to step last with the foot that's on the side where you're hitting. So that's similar to an open stance. If you think about it, it's like an open stance, stepping with the right foot. The reason you want to step last with your right foot, if you're right-handed going forward and you're running really fast, is it allows your arms and legs to work like when you're running. When we run, our arms and legs go opposite each other. What I want to do when I'm running is to keep that relationship between my arms and legs intact, just like I'm running forward. So when you step last with your right foot, now what you're going to make sure of is that your left leg is going to step forward as your right arm is swinging. And that's the way we run. We run with our left leg going forward as our right arm is going forward. So if you step last with your right foot, now your right arm and your left leg are going to go together. And it allows you to keep running and run very fast. So it looks like this. Step last with your right foot. Again, this is all about if you're right-handed. You're going to reverse everything if you're lefty. So you're running, step last with your right foot, then your right arm and your left leg continue, and you'll go up to the net. So let me do this one kind of full speed and continuous. Watch it one more time. I'm stepping last with the foot that's on the side of my body where I'm hitting. Since I'm hitting on my right, I'm going to step last with my right. And this is when I'm running really fast, and I just want to keep on running to the net. So that's a great way to continue running forward. Now, as mentioned, that's typically, and not always, there's always an exception to these rules. That's typically the footwork you're going to want to use when you're going very fast. Now, if you're going very slowly, and sometimes the ball's a little higher, and you really want to lean in and crush that ball. Now, the TopspinPro isn't that high, so I can't have the contact up here. But typically, this is going to be the footwork you're going to use on a slower ball, and where you can really lean in and pound it. And this is the hop step. This is where, and just imagine I'm contacting up here, but this is where you're going to lean in on your front foot. But as we mentioned, our arms go opposite our legs. It's just physics, right? Every action has an equal and opposite. So when you step onto your front leg, and if you're right-handed, that's your left leg. When you step in on that, now if any of you hockey players, you know, bowlers, this foot's going to kick back. The whole reason the hop occurs is because when you swing forward with your right arm, this right leg is naturally going to go backward. As a lefty, it's the exact opposite, right? As a lefty, you're going this way. Since we're leaning in on that left foot, and as we swing with our right arm, the right leg is naturally going to kick back. I have to hop to wait for the leg to go back. Then I can continue going forward. Watch this again. This is typically what you want to do when the ball's a little higher and you're moving forward slower. The previous one, you could do really any height, typically low, and when you're running really fast, the open stance step through. But here's going to be the lean in on my front foot, hit. As I hit, my right foot goes back, I hop, and then I continue going. I can't run like this. I can't run. Even that, it's almost difficult to walk this way. So I cannot, when I lean in my front foot, I cannot bring my right arm forward with my right leg. It's just not going to happen. Physics is not going to allow it. Physics is going to push my right leg back. But since I'm leaning forward, I have to hop to keep my balance so I don't tip over. And that's the whole reason why the hop step is a footwork. It's a real thing. Many players know about it, but I'm not sure many players know why you're supposed to use it. And the whole reason is because as you lean in, your right leg goes back and you have to hop. Leaning into a ball is good. Whether you're gonna lean into a punch, lean into a throw, if you're gonna push something, leaning in is just a way to get power. So that's a good thing. But the bad thing is when you lean, it's gonna force a hop that's gonna require you to catch your balance on that front foot to continue going forward. So to reiterate, the two main footworks you're gonna use on a forehand when going forward, if you're going really, really fast and you're running forward, I encourage you to step last with your foot that's on the side where you're hitting. That way your right leg and your left foot can go forward together, which is the way you run, and it looks like this. And that's when you're running really fast. And when the ball's going slower, and maybe even a little higher, and you're leaning in, you want to pound this ball, lean in on your front foot. That's fine. From the side, it looks like this. You're really going to lean in on this foot. But when you lean, your hitting arm's going to go forward, and that leg is then going to go backward. So you have to hop to keep your balance and go forward. At full speed, that'll look like this. So just like I am here, practice this in your driveway. You don't have to be on a tennis court to get better at tennis. Practice stepping last with the foot that's on the side where you're hitting to do the open stance step through, and practice leaning in on that front foot, typically on a higher ball, and then hopping on the front foot before you go through. Both footworks are super important and valuable to taking your game to the next level. This is Ryan Reedy over at 2minutetennis.net. I'll see you next time.